Now, this is why the transport driver who killed 14 school children in the Vaal will only serve 4 to 5 years in prison and then get released. If you do not believe me, watch this video and listen attentively. Now, 14 years ago, Ujub Jub was initially convicted of murder, attempted murder, and charges related to driving under the influence of drugs and racing on a public road. Now, the charges stemmed from a 2010 incident where he and co-accused drove into school children in Soweto. And in October 2012, he was found guilty of murder and attempted murder. And 2 years later, in 2014, the murder convictions were overturned by a high court and replaced it with a lesser charge of culpable homicide. And 14 years later, a transport driver is facing counts of murder, attempted murder, 1 count of driving without a valid professional driving permit, and 1 count of operating an unlicensed motor vehicle. Now, in the case of Ujub Jub, school children died and he was charged with culpable homicide. And in this case of the Vaal transport driver, still children died and he is charged with murder. And these 2 cases are similar. Same public roads, reckless driving, school children were unalived, but the law treats them differently. So the question is simple. Why? My name is Alokwan and these are the news that matter the most. Now, the Jub Jub case is not what most people think it is. And yes, Ujub Jub was initially convicted of murder. And yes, the public cheered. And yes, the sentence was heavy. But then came the appeal court where judges said something shocking. The judges said that reckless driving is not automatically murder. Now, the murder conviction was overturned and it was replaced with culpable homicide. And the reason for that, it's because the state failed to prove intent, not emotion, not outrage, intent. And the question became, did Ujub Jub foresee death and accept it? Now, if the answer is he was careless, then that's culpable homicide. If the answer is he knew people could die and he did it anyway, then that's murder. And by South African law, as painful as it is, it has nothing to do with how many people died, how painful the loss was, and how angry the public feels. And unfortunately, that's how it was. And in the case of Ujub Jub, it was proven that it was reckless and careless, and it amounted to culpable homicide. Now, that's why Ujub Jub, instead of serving 25 years of murder and attempted murder, after the appeal in 2014, his sentence was reduced to 10 years, with some sources noting that 8 years in total with 2 years suspended. Now, he was released on parole on January the 5th in 2017 after serving 4 years, 1 month, and 1 day. Now, in the Vaal case, there's no confirmation of drag racing, there's no evidence of intoxication yet, and there's no evidence of intent so far. So legally, prosecutors are boxed in. Even with 14 school children unalived, the law does not escalate charges on numbers alone. And that's why people at the end of this case might feel cheated. Now, the sad truth is that our law is designed to protect intent, not victims. It punishes mindset, not mass consequences. That's why at the end of this case, some families will feel that justice is light, some communities will feel that they were unheard, and this transport driver might be released earlier than expected. And that's why every road tragedy reopens the same wound. And therefore, that's why I believe that the real question that we should be asking is this one. At what point does reckless driving become a violent crime? And how many lives must be lost in order for the law to start protecting the victims and not the mindset of the driver? What are your thoughts?